everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Heroes Peak podcast, Quick Peaks. I'm your host, Chris, here with my friends Mike and James, and we are going to be talking. How are you guys doing today? Especially you, James. You're in the same boat as I am. Our fantasy teams are not doing very well. We're on our last legs tonight.
Terrible. I need a miracle. I need Omni Man to play on my squad.
Yeah, and literally murder everybody on this.
Yeah.
So, Mike, you're not enjoying our fun of fantasy basketball right now. So what are you doing instead?
Me, I'm in so much back pain. I feel like I went a couple rounds with Omni Man last night. So
oh, I get that.
I'm just recovering today. Yeah.
Woo. All right. So we are talking Invincible. We just recently they aired the final episode of this season 1.
Yes,
so this is a Robert Kirkman based off of his comic book from 2003 to 2018. Apparently this thing has 144 issues, which holy crap.
Wow.
Yeah. So he also is in charge of the series, obviously, because this seems pretty faithful to the storyline.
And it stars Robert Kirkman is also the creator of The Walking Dead, right? I don't know if you mentioned that.
I was gonna say, that this dude is freaking. He's doing it better than J.R. Martin.
J.R.R. Martin, who's still sitting on his last book, right? Trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
This guy's pumping issues and getting them produced.
Right. So it stars Stephen Yeun as Mark Grayson, Invincible.
Academy Award nominated Stephen Yeun.
That's right.
Also from The Walking Dead fame as well.
That's right. Yeah.
Sandra Oh as the mother Debbie, and J.K. Simmons as his dad Nolan, otherwise known as Omni Man, and a host of other wonderful voice actors.
We did on one of our episodes. We did a couple episodes of this for our review, right? Or non-spoiler. So I think this time the gloves are off. We're gonna dive deep into this.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
You've heard of this. You've seen this, right? You know what that is.
It is unavoidable. It is your destiny.
Is this not why you are here?
Do or do not. There is no try.
Knock that shit off.
Yeah, we're gonna dive deep into the guts of this, like we were Omni Man.
We're gonna be beating up our sons.
Beating up our sons.
Metaphorically speaking, child service protective.
So, we talked about a little bit about the basics of the series, the story. That Omni Man is basically a Superman type character. He's from another planet who's supposed to go and they send their individual soldiers out to be protectors of given worlds. And that's how we are introduced to this Omni Man as a protector of the world. And by the end of the first episode, he kills the Justice League version, the Earth's Defenders type things, leaving a lot of spare superheroes and his son, after his son figures out he has powers, gets old enough, whatnot. So that's really the bulk of this story, and it kind of flows from that whole idea. I'm going to ask you guys, because my first impression here in the first couple of episodes was, okay, it's a cool story. The characters don't seem particularly inventive, but then I learned that this was written in 2003, which, I turned around and I went, wow, like if I had seen this 20 years ago, basically, this would feel like a revelation comparatively to what we have now in the age of the superhero genre. What do you guys think of the base story? And when you first watched it, what was your initial reaction?
I think for me, Chris, I again, like you and Mike, I had very little knowledge about the graphic novel backstory. I thought this was something that was much newer, maybe a year or two in development. So seeing the characters and getting to understand not just their power sets, but also their backstories on the show while watching the show, I felt like, again, maybe it was a little bit of a retread from other stuff that we watched, but I like the dynamic of making it seem like it was grounded from the point of view of Mark, the
Mhm.
the main character. He's going to school. He's got a girlfriend. He's got regular human problems, and he's got the the superpower. So to me, this was like in my mind a combination of like The Boys and Kick Ass and all these other shows that kind of freshened it up for me
Mhm.
as I was watching before I even knew after episode 2 because I did some research. I realized, oh man, this has been around for like 17, 18 years. So
Right.
yeah, I was okay with that for me.
Yeah, for me,
Right.
so going off what you said, like, after that kind of you going into the first episode and reading about it, I'm like, doesn't sound anything. It kind of sounds like we're getting into superhero overload on TV and movies, right? Because it didn't sound like anything out of the ordinary, anything different. Like I would say, going what you were saying too, like if this was released, early 2000s or whatever, or even like before The Boys or something like that, you could say, groundbreaking, whatever. But this show, I think, holds its own for a few reasons we'll probably get into, here in a bit. So
Mhm.
it definitely kept me interested and definitely is up there for me in terms of superhero shows. So.
Yeah. So I think that they did a great job, especially the voice actors, the main cast,
Mhm.
by not spending too much time or understanding that in this environment, because where shows can go wrong, we just did the whole what's that comedy Netflix live action superhero
Oh,
Thunder Force, where it felt like it had
Force.
to, well, it opened with explaining what superheroes are and how they got here, where this didn't make any of the mistakes of it. Just like said, okay, everybody knows superheroes exist, everybody knows that shit happens and how it happens. We're not going to spend an awful lot of time trying to explain our premise. We're not going to worry that people's going to think that's a supermarket Batman. It's okay. Like just let it be and follow the story, and let the Invincible and Omni Man and the mom and that relationship pull you through the story. And I
Right.
think that's what they did.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's what worked for me as well. It wasn't just, we're fighting crime every week, right? Different baddie. It's more of
Right.
a heart story than anything else.
Yeah, I
coming
guess
to grips, coming to
Okay.
like this teenager coming to grips with this is my life now. How do I deal with this? Especially the struggles with him trying to balance this with his dad and school and the new girlfriend.
Yeah,
And how many times he screwed up with the girlfriend, right?
that's
Mhm.
exactly what I was saying.
Yeah.
The fact that when I say grounded, I mean like it's based on a character who's going through real life
Yeah.
kid issues in a animated superhero movie
Right.
show.
Yeah. So, well, let's talk about the big. As it moved on, we saw Omni Man for what he was, even if it wasn't until, say, literally the last episode where we got the explanation.
Mm.
But some of the episodes we see Omni Man, who is this background, even though we're following Mark, the son, Omni Man is this background evil or presence that's happening, and you're waiting for everything to come to a head. And I think that really kept a lot of my interest, as you saw, especially like when Omni Man goes into that alternate dimension, that those aliens that kept invading every day,
Mhm.
and then he just wiped out their entire civilization.
Yeah.
So, what did you guys think of Omni Man? That character, was he too? Oh well, it's just Superman. Evil Superman's evil Superman. Or did you feel there was a lot more to it than that? What do you guys think?
I think for Omni Man, his character to me really I connected with because maybe part of it has to do with the voice acting of
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons, which was perfect because I could visualize not just the voice but that mustache and that.
You can visualize the mustache.
Yeah, so to me, whenever he was on screen and whatever set that he was on, to me, I automatically, I was alert. I was paying attention because I figured this guy is he's serious. He's obviously got a tons of like power sets that when he's on, right?
Yeah.
But even as a dad and as a husband, I gotta take him seriously because this guy can obliterate anything, and he's having a husband and wife conversation about this and the third, and also a father-son conversation about his son's purpose. So to me, I think it's because of the voice acting and how the character has been written in this show. I really, really connected and really enjoyed this character. He was probably my second favorite character just watching this show. And maybe it is because of the voice acting. I don't know, but to me, I really enjoy that.
I like that during the course of the season, you don't know the motivation for why he killed the rest of the team, right? And I like that was part of the mystery of the show, and that kept me in as well. And so there was a part of me when he was telling his son the story of the Viltrumites, and their backstory, and we're here to spread good across the galaxy. And some part of me was like, yeah, I'm not buying that. There's something wrong there, which turned out to be the case, right? So, yeah. So that was an interesting twist on it for sure. And J.K. Simmons was great,
Great casting.
Great casting. So,
Oh yeah, you can feel his voice presence is just so strong.
yeah.
It's just everything. All right, so let's go to the main character, Mark Grayson, Invincible. Terrible choice of superhero name, but I obviously it's purposeful. Great character design in the sense that as a lover of superheroes, like watching one just get the shit beat out of him constantly every week. He gets to beat up one guy, like one random dude in the street. Everybody else kicks his ass.
Yeah.
He's almost dead twice in the first season.
Yeah.
I had vibes of Kick-Ass watching the show.
Yeah, true.
Right, yeah, exactly. So what did you guys think of that character?
Yeah, I like that so here's a guy that goes, oh man, I have all these powers. Let me go kick some ass, and not understanding you need it's not just about power, it's about tactics, it's about thinking through planning, right? And we see that throughout the season when he tries to go up against the mobster and not plan carefully good enough,
Oh, that tiger guy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But even before that, how everything was he was being manipulated without even realizing, because he's a teenager. He's
Yeah.
16, 15, whatever he's supposed to be.
Right.
Not quite thinking, just using his quote unquote fists and not being prepared.
Exactly.
And those robotic soldiers or robotic things, those kicked his ass too at the college.
Yeah,
wow.
that was a creepy ass, the kid kidnapping people and turning them into cyborg.
That was a good episode. My favorite episode. One of my favorite episodes. I think for me, Mark was probably my favorite character watching the show. And it wasn't in the beginning. It wasn't the first episode. It wasn't the second episode. It was by the time I got to the finale, I realized, this is my favorite character so far.
Yeah, I would say, before we get to my favorite, let's talk about the mom a little bit, because I was surprised they let her do a Lois Lane thing. They let her do a little investigation. They had her stand up to her husband, the ultimate power in the universe. Even was it the second episode where her son said, go ahead and make me, about taking the garbage out or something, and she was like, I don't think so. So what did you think of that? I think Sandra Oh did a wonderful job making that character interesting for what the power dynamic that you have, that character has to be different than the other ones.
I like her character. I think her character in my mind was like a benchmark of what would you be in this universe as a regular human with no powers. And not only that, but your family, your husband and your son are both, not just powerful, they're super powerful. And here you are as a regular person dealing with your day-to-day, like you said, the chores, confronting her husband when she's suspicious about his activities.
Yeah, she didn't stand down. That was interesting. They didn't have, she snuck around, but they didn't have her not give her opinion to him at any time.
Yeah, I was just gonna say she knew how to hold her own.
Right. when she was in the that little bunker during the finale and they're going through the fight, like I can almost feel like her emotions and what she was going through in that moment because they build that character to me up to that point where you felt realize, this is two people that she really loves and thinks that she knows really well, and here they are going through this confrontation, and the way that they shot those scenes and they show her in the background, but a little bit forefront. To me, I thought it was some good not good acting, but like good what do you call that?
Emotional connection with the character. They didn't leave this character out of a situation where they could have easily just had this huge fight, this long-term thing, father-son thing.
And they would never even show her reaction at all. You just been watching the fight. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another. So about the show, the characters are well written. They've got depth to them. So it's not just her accepting what's going on in the world around her and her family. It's her attempting to control the narrative. Find out the truth. Deal with what's going on. So I like that the characters have some depth to them. She could have been that kind of wife that was just like, well, my husband's Omni Man and whatever happens, and oh well, right?
Boys will be boys.
Oh yeah,
right.
So I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah, I think a couple of the things we've seen lately have had good characters like this. The new Superman show with Lois Lane. In The Boys, we've seen a couple of human, no power characters. Really, they've managed in superhero media to make some of these characters interesting and keep them, if not powered, they have the ability to at least keep up with these people.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a lot of interesting side characters. So like I said, the first episode, I was like, oh, there's some Batman and Wonder Woman based stuff. But as it got further in, I thought they had made some actually rather interesting side characters. So I'm going to ask you guys to pick a interesting side plot or side character that stuck out to you. So for me, I thought Adam Eve was an actually interesting character and what they did with her.
Yeah.
And
good one.
Specifically in the later episodes where she goes on this kind of personal trip to just save people and use her
and my
so to use this, she's got a pretty awesome power, and she was just sick of just fighting for it with it. And so having her go and just save people and live in her little bungalow in the trees, I thought was a very interesting choice for a character like that.
It was, and Chris, just to tag onto what you said, I thought what I liked about her character, because it really made you think if you had superpowers and you're really all about goodwill and helping others, would you really go and do that? Or would you do like the traditional, fight the super villain, save buildings from collapsing, do all the other BS stuff that you see in these shows and movies? But she took it to the point where you're supposed to think. Would you help people? Would you feed them? Would you create a better society? And I'm like, that's interesting that the show would even show you that.
Again, it's taking time what you would normally expect a superhero show to do and doing something different.
And she's a key character. Like, we might call her a secondary character, but she's a key secondary character too.
Yeah, the thing is she's a teenager too, right? So she's still trying to figure out her place in the world,
Oh, her parents, her dad specifically was just like, man, why didn't she take his feet off or something? Just like, you're lucky you have a nice daughter.
Yeah. So for me, so my favorite secondary characters, I actually have two. My first is Cecil, the government.
I love Cecil.
Cecil's a great character because he's the epitome of that government guy that says, look, I'm trying to do good in the world, but I know sometimes we have to do some bad things to get there.
Do you remember in the TV show The Heroes? They used to be on NBC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The horn rimmed glasses guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, he was.
He's giving me those vibes every time I see him on screen.
Yeah. So like in the last episode, I think he says to the wife, sorry about how things turned out, even though, we were trying to do, I was
Right.
hoping he said to her, I was hoping this wasn't I was hoping it wasn't him or his race that was evil, you know what I mean? Like he kind of wanted Omni Man to be under some kind of mind control so he could say,
Yeah, that's
still
the
a good
easy
dude.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other one for me was Damien Darkblood, the
Oh, that was also
investigator.
a great character. Yes.
Yeah.
Damien Darkblood.
Yeah,
The demon
Hellboy
detective.
Oh
detective.
yeah. All right, yeah. He's cool.
I was sad when they didn't get more of him towards the end of the last few episodes. I was kind of sad that he got left.
sucked down back to hell. Yeah. I'm hoping he's back for season 2. So.
There's only eight episodes, so it's very little time.
Again, I'm loving all these short episodes. I love being able to watch a series, have a full story.
Yeah,
and
exactly. I don't
James,
need, I don't need 25 episodes and 15
right.
of filler, right?
Naruto, or however I'm supposed to pronounce it.
Yeah.
All right. James, do you have one since I stole yours? Do you have another side character?
The other side character would probably be the guy who was able to recreate his genetics clone.
Oh, the blue twins?
The brothers, yeah.
No, the brothers are great. I was thinking of the guy in the finale that
Robot.
Yeah, Robot. Yes.
Okay, Robot. Yeah.
I do love the twins too, by the way.
Yeah.
So what did you think of Robot's dilemma or his moral? What did you think of his moral choice to free the clones so he could save himself, so he could help save humanity? Right. That's another.
Was he trying to?
Sorry, I was just gonna say that's another of I have to do bad things to get to the good place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I thought at first that he was actually evil. Like
right,
they set that up.
I did too. No, I did too. In the beginning, I thought he was actually evil. I didn't realize his master game plan was to help at the end.
And he also did it for love, looks like, because he was in love with.
And I hate when they throw the last minute romance thing in there. It's just stupid.
And also,
I
like
his determination. I definitely love his determination. Through just to get to that point.
Yeah.
And it's kind of creepy to creep on I know she's like 24, but she looks like she's 12, and so to make yourself look 12 too. There's some weirdness in that whole setup.
Considering the human body he had looked like a fetus, so
right. I guess he went up. I don't know.
I love how he tricked the clones at the end when he gave them they tried to use the necklace on Immortal. And they were like, he gave us bad plans. I was like,
by the way, shout out to talk about tertiary and secondary characters. Mark's best friend who had that one episode when he was going on a date and his was one. Yeah, he was a great. I don't know if he's meant to be a comedy side relief, comic relief.
Yeah.
But I like that character too. Some very good characters that were not like even in the first 2 levels of the show.
And I think that's what made it such a different show. Is I was expecting all of this like Justice League group to be the important group, and they're not. Like they are just fodder. All right, so let's finish.
In the final episode, Cecil tells them just hold, stay where you are. Let Mark deal with it. Yeah.
All right, so let's finish this off with let's talk about the finale, last 2 episodes, where we find out that the actual purpose of the Viltrumite race is to actually they fought until 50% of their own race was dead, so only the most powerful survived, and then they go out and conquer other planets, and then they conquered so much they couldn't conquer anymore, so they send individuals, Omni Man as we know him, to prep planets to be conquered
for galactic war.
And so the question is, number one, what did you think of the whole battle setup, whatever, Mark getting beat up again? And also, where is Omni Man going? What clicked in him that he left? Like, where is he coming back? I haven't read any of the comics, so this is all guesswork.
Neither have I. So, and I just want to add to that. So I like the inclusion at the end of Seth Rogen's character, I forgot his name, the alien that came to visit.
Oh, the One-Eye Alien's great. He's another
Yeah.
side character that I'm like, I want more. I want to know more about that.
But he's
that
like the
character.
ambassador of like this federation of planets that are against the Viltrumites, which is
Alan
cool.
the Alien, I think that's his
Yeah.
name.
hmm So I like that at the end as well. But overall, so like I said I said, when this is revealed that they're evil, it didn't really shock me, but it was a cool revelation nonetheless, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And what really got me was that battle between Mark and his dad at the end, and then Dad finally saying, "Holy shit, what am I doing?" and taking off. That was a great emotional scene for me.
Yeah, and I think, and mind you, this is only 8 episodes that we've seen of both these characters. So for the creators to connect you with these characters in such a short time span, make you feel like when the flashbacks are happening with his dad as he's punching the hell out of his son, he's remembering his son's baseball game and toothy grin and all that stuff. And I'm like, Jesus, man, they're really going all out on this freaking tug at your heartstrings to make you care about these two. And like you go from like hating Omni Man and rooting for Mark to like, oh man, I get Omni Man. This is his mission. This is what he grew up in, because they showed you his backstory about all his family lineage and what they're supposed to be doing to Earth, and ultimately it's for a good cause, whatnot. But here he is about to, take his son's life. And I think that finale, to me, I was speechless. Honestly, after watching that episode, I was like, wow, this show to me just went on another level. And as far as what's next in store, because he's flying off, I have no clue. I haven't read the comic books either, the graphic novels. I'm hoping maybe he'll be back. Obviously, he's got to be back. I would really want to see him fight that tiger dude, because I want to see his best.
So what scene made me so angry? Like I felt Mark's anger is when Mark was asking Omni Man, "So what about Mom?" And he was like,
Right.
"Oh, she's just like
a pet."
Yeah,
Like
I was
a
like,
pet.
Holy shit.
Yeah, she was watching. Hold on, going back to what I said.
Yep.
It showed, and then they went back and showed you in the monitor room watching that, and I'm like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. They let all the characters have the full emotional range. They didn't have any character feel really flat and boring. And so that made it more interesting than a lot of where you see these characters and they're all like one dimensional. So I thought the fight was really well done, very emotional, very impactful. I thought overall the animation of the series was good. It's the DC style animation, which I think is solid. I think the background is going to sound really weird. I think the backgrounds are a little bit boring. I know they fit with what's going on, but they're a little flat. There's no movement. There's no, so I can see, but they put all the money.
You're getting into that.
They put, but they put all the necessary into the faces, the facial responses, the interactions of the characters. That's the important part.
Yeah, you can live the emotion. That's the key thing. So, excuse me.
All right, so let's grade this series, this first season. All right, James, go ahead.
I'm gonna give this first season of this series straight A.
Nice. Okay.
I'll stand by it.
Mike.
I'm going to go A minus, only because, while I know we like shorter seasons, I maybe I could have done with one or two more episodes. So,
I'm going to go with A minus as well. I'm going to agree with Mike on this. I think streak is broken. Yeah, not by much. I mean, again, this is like I'm really loving it. I'm loving most everything about it. Again, maybe a few hiccups with the animation for me, but I think the main characters are really, and the story itself drives it. Yeah. And it's definitely 100% watch. I'm gonna watch season 2, and what are you gonna say? Just gonna love it.
I hope season 2 is 10 episodes and not 8.
Yeah. So. Exactly.
Well, whatever they need to, whatever they feel they need to tell the story.
As long as they're able to tell that story,
Yeah, Yeah, I could deal with Mark learning a little bit more about being a superhero, like being a little less of a punching bag.
And his power. Like, what's his limits? Like, we still don't know what Omni Man and Mark's limitations are. There's no kryptonite. As far as we know, they have no kryptonite
Right.
version.
Right.
But
Well, because Omni Man fought like a giant lizard that smacked him around. Then he fought the immortal guy that smacked him around. Then he fought his son, and at no point, even with how hard, you could see it in his eyes. That was my favorite part of the animation, was Omni Man's eyes in the last episode.
It was like a little bloodshot red, like he had allergies.
yeah,
Yeah, because it just showed his emotional state as well as he was fighting. Oh, and then when he flies into space and all the blood comes off as he flies through the atmosphere. Great little touch.
Yeah.
All right. So that's our quick peek for Invincible on Amazon Prime. Go watch it. It's a good series. And thanks for watching, guys.
Think of the show, by the way. Leave a comment below. And like our videos. Don't forget to catch us on social media at Heroes Peak, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. And thanks for watching.
All right. See you later.